The art of delegation is so important to your success. As entrepreneurs, we are control freaks. We want to know everything about anything. This might be perceived as a positive, and most people on the street will assume that's what entrepreneurs must and should do. However, they could not be further from the truth. This leads to burnout, zero work-life balance, and ultimately, you're not the best person in your business to do everything. Let me say this, once upon a time, I didn't let go of anything in my business. And do you know what this led to? Stunted growth. At one point, I was running sales, marketing, ops, finance, and HR. And probably like you, my head was completely fried. Only when I took the steps I'm about to run through with you did my business start scaling to beyond $1 million in revenue. So get a pen, take note, and as by the end of this video, you'll be able to be fully equipped to get your business to 1 million in a year. Let's start with hiring your first chief of staff. A chief of staff is your confidant or your right-hand person. They can also be known in many different guises, such as a COO, operations manager, and even an office manager. The chief of staff is the glue that holds everything together day-to-day in your business, and you must hire a chief of staff who complements you on a day-to-day basis. Take me, for example. My strong point is sales and marketing. And as always, so to complement me, I need someone in my business who is operational minded, who can run day-to-day operations. Does this mean I am necessarily bad at operations? No. But is there somebody better? In my opinion, yes. Us entrepreneurs and business owners think we can do everything. And the outside perception is we can juggle multiple plates and manage all this ourselves. If you're watching this and sitting there and this resonates with you, let me tell you, this was me up until about 4 years ago when I made the leap of hiring my first chief of staff. And since then, I've seen exponential business growth in my business with less burnout, less stress, and a much happier life and wife. Now that we have your chief of staff in situ, we need to hire an assistant. An assistant is a key part of this process, as it's likely you're working on tasks in your business and in your personal life that are wasting far too much time, such as managing your own diary, booking your own travel, and booking your car in for a service, for example. An assistant will free you up of all of these little tasks. And I've calculated my assistant has saved me at least about 2 hours per day, which allows me to work on the business and spend most of my time being strategic and creative. Even if you start by hiring a virtual assistant, this will get you on your way to freeing up your time. I highly recommend hiring through Onlinejobs.ph when looking at an assistant, and let me run you through this platform very quickly. Okay, everyone, so this is the online jobs platform, as you can see on my screen right here. So this is my account. You can see here I've got my workers. So it's really handy if you want to group all your workers or you don't want to use like a CRM or HR tool, you can have them all here. You can pay them through here as well, which is quite handy. We use something called wise.com for that, but you can pay directly through online jobs as well, which is really handy. As you can see here, you can see pinned. I've just highlighted that on the screen. And what the pin section is if you're trying to headhunt someone, which I'll show you in 1 second, everyone on this section, you'll be able to keep for either a future date or for a current job that you're looking for. Okay, so if we go to the this section here, which is where you can actually search for what you're looking for. So in the past, and I've not done this for a while actually, but you can see we've got Google Ads, bookkeeping, VoIP support, and marketing B2B. Quite a wide range of jobs, as you can see. So if we go to Google Ads, which will just load up now, you can see here, this gives you a list of all the people. Now I've just put Google Ads in, there's 518 job seekers. So normally what I do is I use the filters on the side to make sure if I'm going to headhunt someone and try and find someone for a role, then you can actually find out if they're actually looking for a job. So I'll go full-time, availability hours 2 to 12 will be fine. Hourly salary between 2 and 100. Again, my budget's probably between say, 10 and 20. Yours can be whatever it can be. ID score, I always go for 70 or more. And what this part of it is essentially if people like uploading driving licenses, passports, to make sure they're real people. If you're going to hire someone, you're going to want to make sure that they are a real person. Last active, I always do a week or less. The reason being is because if you do say up to a year, someone who's on this site a year ago could have a job, not looking at it, and it's going to waste your time. So I always go a week or less. IQ score, listen, most of us haven't got an IQ of 130 or plus or more, but 110 plus is going to be absolutely fine for any of the roles that you're probably looking for. And again, English, I always go advanced or above. So C1. So if you refine these search results, what you'll see is we've got 23 job seekers within your budget, the hours that they're available, when they're last active, which is a week or less. It's your criteria. And what you can then go and do is view the profile and then you can reach out to them. Another way to do it is just to post a job. So if we post a job here, you got job title, type of employment, the description, the wages per month. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. And that's just like using like a job board, whether that's like a, Adzoomer or LinkedIn or whatever it may be. So again, one more thing actually is skills requirements. So you might want to put up to 3 skills here as well, which is really, really handy. So whether you're hiring a bookkeeper, if you just type in bookkeeping here, you might use QuickBooks as an accounting software. There you go. Type in bookkeeping again. Put accountancy maybe. done, and you can just submit that for review. So it's a really, really handy resource for hiring an assistant online jobs, but also, as I've shown you, for any other job as well, which is another quick tip from me. So you could literally hire your full team on this if you really want to. And if you let me know in the comments below, if you want me to do a video on that, I will do. But for an assistant, this is a great starting point. Again, pricing wise, you can start at pro or premium. You can look at which is best for you, but I think pro to start with is fine. So you can click pro, you get contact 75 workers per month. You can hire workers through the platform, like I showed you before. You can pay them. You can get up to 200 job applications per month. Again, I would start with pro, give it a go. In the show notes below, you'll see a link. Click the link. You'll be able to look at that, get yourself started. Let's go. Okay, so let's talk about working on your business and not in your business. You'll notice in this video, all of the points I'm discussing with you will all link up quite nicely. When you've hired your chief of staff, you can then start offloading certain tasks. And I would certainly start with tasks that aren't revenue producing in your business. You need to get a pen and write down all these tasks and functions in your business and work out what doesn't require your attention and isn't the best use of your time. To help you do this, you need to calculate your buyback rate, which is calculated by dividing your annual income by the number of hours you work per year and dividing this by 4. This concept comes from Dan Martell, who wrote one of my favorite books, The Buyback Principle. And what he means in simple terms is if we say you have a $200,000 a year income and we divide this by, say, 2,000 hours, this equals $100 per hour. Dan's concept is that nobody should perform a task that can be delegated at 25% of your hourly rate. So in this case, if you can outsource any task, project or job for $25 or less, and if you don't, the opportunity cost for your business is $75 per hour or more, as you can focus on revenue generating opportunities within your business instead. You can apply this across your daily life as well. And if we can take my previous example, you can delegate anything in your life from cooking, cleaning, ironing, dog walking, you name it. You'll be able to outsource it. And this will lead to increased revenue generation in your business. I've left a link to Dan's book in the show notes. Highly recommend a reading from me to you. Right, we've covered working on your business, hiring your chief of staff, and the buyback principle. But to delegate 1 million in revenue, we need to produce a yearly budget and monthly management accounts. And let me explain why. Producing the budget before the start of each financial year allows you to allocate your cash to certain areas in your business, whether this be sales or marketing. This will give you a clear snapshot of where your company's capital is being allocated to. So why is this important? It's quite simple. If you're allocating, let's say, $200,000 per year to sales, you need to spend this wisely on the right people and tools to ensure you maximize your ROI on this budget, which in return will allow you to fully delegate your sales process without you, the founder, operator, CEO, having to be involved in the day-to-day aspects of this area. If we don't allocate a budget, the problem is we have no direction and we are essentially shooting from the hip during the financial year, which leads to you having to work more in your sales team and leading to a lack of delegation. As mentioned, the management accounts are an important piece of this puzzle as they keep you on track during your financial year, and you'll be able to see the results on a monthly basis and track the actuals versus the budget. In my experience, you'll only see results in your business when you're truly delegating, as it's quite hard to scale to 1 million plus when you haven't put the right processes in place to delegate. Okay, so we need to talk about external delegation. Now, we've talked about how a chief of staff and an assistant will help you delegate in your business and the benefits of working on the business and not in the business. But external delegation is something I used to really struggle with, and you might be asking why. Well, my belief was, as a business, you must do everything yourself, as how can you pass this off as your own product if you don't do it? However, this could not be further from the truth. Some of the biggest companies across the globe hire external contractors to manage large projects, and we see this across the housing sector and IT sector frequently. But do you know what they all have in common? They are all well over 1 million in revenue. Across my portfolio of businesses, when we put this into practice, we found that we were benefiting from expertise that we don't have in-house, and also bringing specialists into a project meant we could complete on our projects a lot faster and client satisfaction went through the roof. The key takeaway here is you can't be an expert in all fields to scale beyond 1 million in revenue. You must be prepared to delegate externally. So before we finish up, we need to discuss what you can't delegate in your business, as this is equally as important if you want to grow not just your revenues, but also your brand. You need to show loyalty to your sales force. I've mentioned before, sales is the lifeblood of any business, and I'll never change my position on this. A lot of business leaders don't like dealing with sales, but sales is something I love dealing with, and also it depends on the culture you want to build in your company. A company that wants a strong sales culture needs the CEO to be leading from the front and occasionally getting it into the trenches with its sales team. You need to make sure you look after your sales team, as if you don't, they'll be snapped up by someone like me, and I'll pay them very well and I'll ensure that they have the best working environment. Big ticket items are also something that is going to need your attention as a business leader, whether these are large deals in your business or a decision on spending $50,000 on a key piece of equipment. You need to be at the forefront of the biggest decisions in your business. You can easily set rules for this. For example, a deal over 100K needs to be run by you, or anything outside of your budget for the year needs to be rubber stamped by you too. Lastly, you cannot delegate the spirit of your brand. You are the person who set this business up, so trying to outsource your vision for the business does not work. It needs to come from you. Nobody can tell your story better than you. And to keep your story and journey authentic, there's only one person to tell that story, and you are looking right at that screen. That doesn't mean you have to be 9 to 5 telling this story, but you need to make sure that your customers and team know that story, as they need to buy into your vision. Now, this brings us to the end of our video, and all of these processes have helped me scale my business to 1 million plus in revenue. And what I want to say to you is, it can be a lonely existence scaling a business on your own, whether you want to reach 1 million a year or not. Building a business with a team will make you more accountable. And the likelihood is, if you hire well, you'll bring in better people than you in certain areas, and you have the potential to reach 1 million as quick as possible. As always, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed my video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.